Namaskar. I am Dr. Sapunti, brings you the viewpoint. Every time you fill up your car or scooter today, there is a good chance 15 to 20% of that fuel isn't petrol at all. It's ethanol. Historically, ethanol came mostly from sugarcane molasses, but as blending targets scaled up towards 20% and beyond, governments turned to another major source, food grains like rice, corn, and maize. Which brings up the deeply concerning questions. If we are turning grain into vehicle fuel, are we risking food shortages and higher food prices for everyday people? How is the government balancing green energy with fuel plates? Let's break down the facts, the numbers, and the policy. The worry is straightforward. In economics, this is known as the food versus fuel debate. The logic goes like this. If millions of tons of grains are bought up by ethanol distilleries, basic supply and demand suggests food prices should rise or worse. Stocks for public distribution could run dry during a drought or bad monsoon. So, is this actually happening? The short answer, government enforce strict safeguards and priority hierarchies to prevent grain-based ethanol from causing food scarcity. Here is how the management system works. The food first priority rule. Top priority, National Food Security Act and Public Distribution System. And the middle priority is mandated national buffer stocks. And the third, base supply only, ethanol distilleries. Under official policies, grain allocation to distilleries is open-ended but strictly conditional. Food grains are only permitted for ethanol productions after statutory buffer stocks levels and welfare distribution programs are fully satisfied. Distilleries are not taking premium, table-grade grain top retail shelves. A huge portion of grain-based ethanol comes from broken rice, damaged grains unfit for human consumption, and excess stock stored far beyond required reserves in central warehouses. It is a waste-to-wealth strategy. To avoid over-relying on rice or sugarcane, which consumes heavy amounts of water, there has been a massive shift towards maize. Maize requires far less water, can be grown on marginal land, and increases earnings for dryland farmers. The long-term buffer against food competition is 2G ethanol. Instead of using the grain itself, 2G technology uses farm residue like crop stubble and stock, turning agricultural waste directly into fuel without touching the food supply. If grain blending requires so much regulation, why do it? Because the trade-offs of not doing it are massive. Import bill reductions cuts crude oil imports, saving billions of foreign exchanges. And secondly, direct income for farmers gives farmers a guaranteed buyer and minimum support prices for surplus crops. Carbon emissions, ethanol burns cleaner than pure petrol, cutting tailpipe emissions. The risk of food versus fuel is real if left unchecked. But as long as government policy enforces strict buffer caps, prioritizes public distribution, relies on damaged broken grains, and expands 2G technology, ethanol blending can coexist with food security. And that's all for now. Thank you.